Dan Crumble has lodged in the House of Assembly stating 100% compliance on blue zone parking on government sites using an exemption that the government itself stated in writing it or any other building are permitted to use. Paul Davis has set up a 3-tier system for blue zone parking where the province pays a $100 to $400 fine. The government just passed an amendment to reduce its own patrolled sites to the levels of 2010 from $0 to $100. And our highest educational facilities, Munn, Grenfell, and Marine Institute, have a whopping $20 fine for blue zone infringements that our PC government has approved. Municipal leaders, like Randy Sims, has stated in the media that blue zone fines should not be increased because everybody can make a mistake, siding on the habitual offender side. When the amendment passed their council, it sat on the agenda for over 2 years.
Wow.
No joke. Now Mr. Sims has stated that the GO bus system needs to be removed, the only affordable transportation for residents. So accessibility in my city will be a privilege of those that can afford it versus a right of the taxpayer. So my question, with these attitudes, both in provincial and municipal government, of creating more barriers than taking down, what will you do to ensure that the rights of persons with disabilities and our seniors are met today and in the future?
Thank you. This time around, I've got Clyde Jackman, followed by Earl McCurdy, followed by Paul Lane.
Yeah, it's, I mean, as you indicated, the fine have been increased. But, you know, I think it comes down to, well, I'll step back a little bit. I heard a debate on the radio just, I think it was maybe even yesterday, about a person who pulled up into a parking blue zone. There was someone parked there, and the person told them they were legally parked there, and an argument ensued as to why the individual shouldn't move. And the person who was arguing was the one who didn't have the disability. That, to me, speaks to a major attitude shift in politics. It's total disrespect. We can't penalize disrespect. The only way we're going to get around that is through education. Enforcement, sure. Enforcement. Yeah, but, I mean, you can debate with me. You and I have debated before. That's, you know, we've talked on this before. But my thing to you is enforcement certainly is one. Increasing fines is another one. But until you change the overall attitude that anyone who drives up to one of those blue spots who hasn't got a disability should never park in it. If I see someone that I think is not, I should bloody well approach him. We as a society have to become more accepting and more understanding. We can fine all we want, but until we change the attitude of people, whether that be people coming into the workforce, whether that be universal design and constructing buildings, until we educate and change the attitude, things will remain the same.
Thank you. Earl McCurdy?
Yeah, I think there's certainly, it is ridiculous when what you mentioned about Memorial University, for example. I don't know how anyone could defend that. And maybe one of the things could be done, well, first of all, there should be uniformity in the fines. I believe urban versus other areas is an area of difference as well. Maybe publishing the names in the paper might be something to do. I don't know. I mean, it is. I personally have never knowingly parked in a spot that's marked for disabled. I can't say I was never one that was covered with snow that I didn't realize. But other than, you know, not that I know, but I think that there should be zero tolerance for that. It's just not good enough for someone to go out and say, well, I'm in a hurry, I'll only be a minute or something like that. That's not a valid excuse. And I think any institution that's funded by the provincial government that is a message that this got to be dealt with, I can't imagine that couldn't fix that. I mean, I don't think anyone can throw up their hands and say somehow that's good enough, because it just isn't acceptable for an able-bodied person to park a vehicle in one of those spots.
Thank you. Pauline?
Yeah, thank you very much for the question, and this is one that really does get me all wound up, I gotta be honest. When it comes to blue zone parking, that's an issue that I have raised in the House of Assembly. I cannot count the number of times. I've asked questions of the Minister, I've raised it in debate, I've presented petitions, I've been on the open line, I've been active in social media on this issue. And you know, gentleman here is absolutely right. We have 3 standards when it comes to blue zone parking in this area. The city, if you park in a blue zone in the city of St. John's Municipal Enforcement Company, you're going to get a $400 fine. If you park at the Confederation building or the hospital or whatever, you're only going to get a $100 fine. And we actually had a debate on this in the House of Assembly just before the House closed. And I actually spoke to that issue for an entire hour. A full hour on that one issue alone, over the fact that this was ridiculous, that they should bring it up to par with the City of St. John's for $400 fine, the same as it is for any other facility. And then Memorial University, I don't know how many times I've brought that one up. I've actually written Mr. Kaczynowski on that particular issue. I've had to write Dave Diamond at Eastern Health to get the blue zones brought into compliance at St. Clair's Hospital and the Health Science. If you can believe that you would have to do that in this day and age. Thankfully, I was over at the Health Science today and they got her done, and they got St. Clair's done, and I certainly recognize for doing that. But we have government-owned facilities. We've had them all over the island. The Auditor General the Citizens Rep looked into the matter. He did a report, and there's non-compliance issues all over this province in government-owned facilities. It's not acceptable. And before we start changing the names of the Parking Act, maybe we should start enforcing the legislation that's already on the books.